Hello, welcome to Talking Pro Football Draft Edition with Mike, Domin, and Tom. Talking Pro Football with Mike, Domin, and Tom. Draft Edition. We're going to start off doing the top 10 draft, what we think, and we're going to discuss who should pick who. And then we're going to pick on our own special teams. With that, Domin's going to lead us the rest of the way.
Hello! That's all. You always clap when I start. That's very nice. That's very nice. All right. Hi, everybody. We haven't seen you in a month, so it's good to be back. This is our draft preview. We're filming on Monday. The draft is this Thursday, and we're very excited. We were talking about what food we're going to eat, just like a game. But anyway, we're talking. The three of us are on the show, so let me start by saying we were going to have our friend Nick on the show, but Pete, if you pan to Nick, his Packers don't have a pick, so he's pouting and he's not going to play tonight.
He's not going to
because his Packers don't have a first-round pick. Anyway, all right. So, gentlemen, I figure we'll just do the top 10, and then like Mike said, we'll talk about our teams. Tom will talk about the Bucks. Mike will talk about the Bears. We'll talk about the Dolphins, and then go from there. We will have a show again next week because we will talk about the draft, what we go. So that being said, gentlemen, again, we start every show by saying, everybody out there, thank you for watching. We are not professionals. We're not ex-players. We're just regular guys. We're not experts. Just regular guys that like football. So if we offend you, hurt your feelings, just it is what it is. All right, gentlemen.
Send any complaints to Michael.
To Michael.
Well,
So
I do answer the email, so.
yes. Number one, Las Vegas has the number one pick. Gentlemen, this should be the easiest one to.
Everybody knows, Fernando Mendoza.
As much as the
No-brainer.
Raiders screwed things up with Tom Brady there now, I think they're going to get him, and I think he's going to be a great quarterback for them for the next 10 years. So unless the Raiders do something stupid, which I'm giving you credit, Vegas, I don't think you will, they will have a good solid quarterback for that number one pick.
Not with Tom Brady in the ownership group anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now they're going to actually start pretending they're a real franchise again. So.
And the Raiders have, I think, 10 or 11 picks. And all I can say is, you teams, if you look at the Patriots, the Patriots last year sucked. They were like 4-11. And then they had a good draft. Now, mind you, they brought in a good coach. In 1 year, from sucking to Super Bowl. If you hit on a lot of draft picks, you can turn things around.
Yeah, but they also had like $280 million in free agency, so they were able to fill a whole lot of holes on that team. But yes, the draft picks definitely help. And if you know how to use your draft picks, you're going to be a successful franchise. That's how it works. You use free agency to plug the holes, and then the draft is where you line up the next year's success.
And that's why Michael said about if you know how to run a franchise. And that is why the Jets and the Cardinals and the Browns and the Bengals and the Titans are continually picking in the top 10. Moving on. So,
Now
gentlemen,
First overall pick is Fernando Mendoza.
Quarterback, Indiana, who had won the national championship, beat my Miami Hurricanes. I'm not bitter, just a little bit, but I'm fine. Anyway, good kid. Wish him the best. Number two. So, gentlemen, here's what I have. Number two, the New York Jets. I have two different, from what I've been seeing, both outside linebacker / edge rushers. David Bailey from Texas Tech. And the other one is Arvell Reese from Ohio State.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this also should be an easy pick because I think whichever one the Jets pick, I think the Cardinals will do.
The other one.
So if the Jets stick with Bailey from Texas Tech, then I think, unless Arizona again doesn't, that Reese kid, if you remember the combine, Michael, that kid was just he's big, he's tall, he's strong, he's just off the charts. So
and he's what do they call it, a pocket knife. I mean, he could do anything.
Yeah. So if the Jets in Arizona don't screw this up, you should get two awesome edge rushers.
And I don't think it matters which one.
No, I think they're both great.
They're both that good, and I think both teams are going to benefit from either one of them.
What they say is Bailey's a little more polished, but in a couple years, Reese has the higher ceiling. But still, they're both great.
Bailey's the edge that's got the experience at edge, whereas Arvell Reese was a linebacker who
dropping in coverage, doing a little bit of everything,
doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So he's kind of the jack of all trades. I think Bailey goes number 2 to the Jets. I think that they're, even the Jets aren't going to screw this one up. I think they're going to go and pick Bailey.
That's who I
think.
think.
Now number 3, and this is basically 3 days before the draft we're filming. So there will be other rumors that come up, but basically it's come up today on TV, on Get Up and some other places, that Arizona might be shopping the number 3 pick or picking Jeremiah Love instead of taking an edge rusher in Arvell Reese. So I think this is a smokescreen from Arizona. I think they're trying to see if somebody's going to pony up a lot of money.
I think all these teams will lie like through their teeth in the next 72 hours.
Yeah, next 72 hours. So Arvell Reese, I think, would be the good pick. But then again, Arizona, I think, used all 5 of their draft picks last year, all on defense. So they might be willing to, pop something new out and flip the switch and go to offense. I think it's a smokescreen. I think they're going to take Arvell Reese.
I kind of think it's going to be. I think Reese would go into the Jets, and then Bailey's going to go to Arizona. But like I said, either one of those two. But I think it's going to be that way. And then number 4 is where I have Love going.
Okay, let's go to number 4, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Now, some people think because Robert Saleh is getting a second chance to be a head coach, some people think because he's defense that he's going to go Sonny Styles. That makes sense. But at the same time, I think Saleh is smart enough to realize I got a good young quarterback. He needs help. No better help than having an awesome. And guys, let's face it, there's only one real awesome running back. I think Tennessee goes with Jeremiah Love.
I do too. That's where I think that he's going to end up is in Tennessee.
Yeah, and what's the old saying? What helps a passing game most? A good running game.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah Love is hands down the best back in the draft. I mean, it's just not even close.
Yeah.
And so, I also think that'll help put people's butts in the seats in Tennessee too, especially after the dismal year. But with a rookie quarterback who's got 1 year under his belt, now you throw in a good running game to go with it. Look for Tennessee to and I think Saleh's a good coach. I think he's a good coach.
Yeah, nobody wins it. Nobody wins at New York Jets, so you can't hold that against them.
So I'll tell you what, I think if Tennessee does this draft right and they don't screw up and they take Jeremiah Love at 4, Tennessee might actually be in the mix next year.
I can see it. But I think the next team is going to be up. The 5th pick is going to could make a big difference this year in terms of wins.
I think let's segue into the pick number 5, the New York Jets.
New York Giants.
The Giants, excuse me. Because I think the Giants and John Harbaugh, I think they will take Sonny Styles.
That's right. I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking Styles to New York.
Being Bucks fans, boy, would I like him. There's no way he's falling.
But he ain't falling.
No way he's falling. I think Harbaugh with his 5th pick gets him. I did see some people think that the Giants and Harbaugh likes the safety. There is one excellent safety, like on that Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed saying Caleb Downs from Ohio State, but still, as much as he's a great safety, you can't pass up Styles.
No, that's good. I think he's actually going to be a game changer, and would put butts in the seats. Not that they need. I think they got 2 really good rookies last year.
Yeah.
If they both come back and could play better than they played last year, show improvement, add somebody to the defense now, put a young defensive face on that team.
And we'll go back to the Giants because they have the 10th pick, so we're going to circle back to them.
We'll come back to them.
Yeah.
But last year, if Cam Scatterbu doesn't get hurt and Jackson Dart doesn't visit the blue tent 15 times during a 16-game, 17-game season, Giants wouldn't be picking at number 5.
Yeah.
So they had some injury problems there, but they had a decent running back room. I do think that their linebacker, Sonny Styles, I think that's going to be way too... Okay, I'm not going with these two. I'm going with Caleb Downs. And the reason I'm going with Caleb Downs is because if they don't pick Caleb Downs at 5, he won't be there at 10 when they pick again. That I can almost guarantee you. I think there's they did analytics on. They said there's a 1% chance that he'll be there at 10, because the Commanders are in the same division. They're picking 2 picks later, and they need a safety. You think Caleb Downs is making it past the Commanders? No way in heck. I think they're still going to get Sonny Styles, but I think they're going to get him at 10. I think 5. My pick is Caleb Downs.
Well, I disagree, and I'll tell you. Let's go to pick number 6, Cleveland. I can't even keep a straight face talking about you, Cleveland. You have no idea what the hell your team is doing. You just anyway. Your quarterback that you spent all that money on is coming back. So you're gonna play him? You're gonna play Sanders? Who knows? But let's talk about their pick. I think if they stay with Sanders as their quarterback, I think this is where the best receiver, which is Carnell Tate from Ohio State, I think one possibility is that.
No matter what quarterback they have, because they've been talking about Deshaun Watson finally being healthy and him possibly playing again. So whoever's playing quarterback, they do need a number 1 wide receiver. So I agree with you. I think Carnell Tate is the best choice for them at that spot.
I think that's the best spot,
Here's the thing I like about Carnell Tate. There's another guy that we're going to talk about in a little bit, Jordan, what's his name? The Arizona State kid.
Jordan Tyson.
But Carnell Tate dropped 4 passes in the last 2 seasons. That's reliability you cannot buy. You got to get it, and you got to select it. If Cleveland misses on Carnell Tate, forget it.
Yeah.
I agree. Carnell Tate is my pick, too.
So now let's talk about the first monkey wrench here. If Michael was correct on pick 5, and let's say the Giants pick safety Caleb Downs, then I think there's a very good chance Cleveland at that number 6. I think Dallas will try to move up to get Sonny Styles if he's there at 6. So that's just something to keep an eye on. If the more Styles stays on that board, I think teams will go up. But that's just a little side note. We know there's going to be trade ups, and it's impossible to guess who's going to do what. Let's go to number 7, Washington. They could do wide receiver. Give Jane Daniels another weapon. Ever since the first mocks came out in January, I've been seeing Miami's defensive end, Reuben Bain Jr. in that slot, and I can see that. They need to get to the quarterback. I can see Reuben Baines Jr. Going here.
Yeah,
Tom.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
They could go swimming, but I think that would be a smart pick for them to do. It really would. They got a lot of needs, not so much as some other teams, but I think that one will be the one that I'm trying to think of somebody else to go in there.
He can go in and contribute immediately.
Yeah, he could. I can't think of anybody else. Maybe like I got one draft that I'm looking at. They're going with that Delane. That cornerback.
Oh, the corner.
Well, which is the best corner on the board from what is that? Manson Delaney from LSU. Yeah.
And I can see them at that because they need a lot of help, but they're also not in a position where they absolutely need one position.
Somebody good will follow.
Somebody will fall to them,
Yeah.
and they almost be in a position they could just take best available.
Well,
and do something with it.
Yeah, to your point, best available would be Reuben Bain Jr. from Miami.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. If you remember, they got rid of Montez Sweat. They got rid of the other guy on the other side. I can't remember his name right now. So they need edge rushers. Reuben Bain fits perfectly, and he's the best player on the board. So you kind of have to go with Reuben Bain Jr. That would be my pick.
All right, now this is where we're really just totally guessing at this point. Number 8, the New Orleans Saints. They got a good young quarterback in Shuck, who really the last month, if you remember, gentlemen, really started to play well. They could get him a wide receiver. If Carnell Tate is gone, which I think by 8 he will be, then you just mentioned the next best receiver, Jordan Tyson from Arizona State. That makes sense. Also, New Orleans, Cam Jordan, who's been their stud defensive lineman forever, he's getting up there. I can see them addressing the defensive line. So either one of those, I can see them doing.
I think they'd go more receiver. I think they're going to look more, offensive side. At least this first pick, get something in there, get something excitement going around that young quarterback. Like you said, get him a good receiver, good running game. He'll be, I think, show more improvement than he even showed last year. Which he surprised me last year. How good that game against the Bucks, he started coming around.
That's what we always.
And every
what
game
do we
after
always
that,
say?
he got better and better every week.
What have we been saying for years? If you got a team, you got a quarterback, you're not going to go to the playoffs, and you got a rookie, put them in there and at least say what they do. And the teams hardly ever do that. New Orleans did, and they saw, wow, we got something here. Remember you and I watched, who was it? After Phillip Rivers got hurt. The Colts. Remember the last game we were watching the quarterback from Notre Dame came in there and really looked good. And I'm just just like, why didn't you guys
Why didn't they play him for the last 5 games?
Put him in anyway.
Well, here's the thing. The Saints did really well the last 5 games with Tyler Shuck, and they only had what's the kid from Ohio? He was at Ohio State. Their wide receiver.
I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of his name right now.
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave, he did great. How would their offense look if you put Jordan Tyson on the other side and then you got Chris Olave over there? All of a sudden, they can't just double cover Olave because Olave had a record year last year because he was the only wide receiver getting open. So you put another wide receiver on the other side, all of a sudden, New Orleans has an offense. I'm telling you, Jordan Tyson isn't going to make it past New Orleans at 8.
No.
That would be my pick.
New Orleans would love if Jeremiah Love was there. They would jump on them. They would run that card up. I just don't think he's making it.
I don't think he's going to make it that far.
Here's the thing. If Jordan Love, or Jeremiah Love, got past Arizona and the Titans, the Giants then all of a sudden are sitting there looking, going, okay, Cam Skabu's hurt. He's not coming back. So anywhere from 3 on, every time he makes it past that pushes somebody else further down the board. Yeah. And I'm going to say this right now. This is the most important thing out of this entire draft. Ready? Here you go. This year, I think we're going to set a record for first-round trades. I think there's going to be 6 or more trades in the first round. And Jeremiah Love is going to be one of them. Sonny Styles is going to be another one. The Cowboys you were talking about trading up. There's going to be a lot of trades in this draft. I think it's going to set a record for the most trades ever.
I think it's going to be 5 or fewer by the time it breaks down. Teams are going to be afraid to do that, afraid to give it up. Some of them are, especially some of these general managers, go,
what's going to be?
I got to take this guy.
What's going to be interesting is when we get in the 20s.
Yeah.
One of these teams that need a quarterback, who's going to move up? Are you going to give up enough to get Ty Simpson, who's the second quarterback from Alabama? Who I think he'll go in I think he's a second, third round quarterback, but the quarterback is so needed. I think somebody will come up and get him in the first round because you got to have a quarterback.
I think Arizona, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of rumors all of a sudden about Arizona being willing to trade out of the 3 spot. So somebody who really wants Jeremiah Love can move up. Arizona needs a lot of help. They're not one running back away.
Right.
I don't believe for 1 second that Arizona's going to draft Jeremiah Love. A running back, they're going to get one in the draft. I guarantee it because they need one. But it isn't going to be Jeremiah Love. They're going to trade back. That's your first trade right there. They're going to trade back and stockpile some picks, get some more talent. Now, who is going to move up there is one thing. Then there's going to be a second trade, and that's going to be somebody. Jets are picking at 16. Their perfect landing spot for Ty Simpson that we're talking about. Who wants to go to 15?
Well,
one above them.
We will get
to Ty Simpson.
We will get to that. I still think Dallas will trade up at some point. All right, let's move on, guys. Number 9, the Kansas City Chiefs.
This was a no-brainer.
Which we are not used to Kansas City being here. They could absolutely. Patrick Mahomes could absolutely use another weapon. They absolutely could use more offensive line to protect Holmes. But in my opinion, they lost their 2 starting corners.
And the safety.
Yeah.
So
they have to get secondary help. Kansas City. Even if Delaney from LSU's gone, I don't know his name right now, but the kid from Tennessee is the next best corner.
Gerard,
Anyway,
he's in here.
I think I could see. I mean, I could see anything happening. And if Jordan Tyson,
Gerard McCoy.
yeah, if Jordan Tyson is still on the board, maybe they want to go with him. But corner would not surprise me here.
Well,
What do y'all?
I don't know. I think this is going to be the first team to take an offensive lineman. I think they're going to want to try to protect Mahomes and go with offense, ninth pick or whatever you get.
Yeah.
First
ninth
round.
pick, but I'm in with Domin. They lost over half their secondary.
Yeah.
They got it, and the best corner on the board at this point is going to be what's his name, Mansour Delane, the cornerback we were talking
But
about.
I think he'll be gone. But if not,
he's gone, the
still
next
the kid from
best
Tennessee.
one is Gerard McCoy.
Yeah.
But Gerard McCoy is also coming off an injury. However, he did do a workout and he looked great, and everybody said he was great. But there's a medical question. The only other way, if you can flip a coin with this, if you want to, they're going to spend the rest of their draft on cornerbacks, they could take Mekhi Lemon out of USC and get a wide receiver because everybody's screaming, Patrick needs somebody to throw the ball to.
They do. Or no one's talked about this. So I'm going to be the first one to bring.
What I'm thinking. Go ahead.
I'm going to be the first one to bring this up. Kelsey's getting old, and
That's what I was thinking.
there is
I
a
was
great
going that way
tight
too.
end.
I was going that way
Sadiq
too.
from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Is that now? Unfortunately, though, I don't think that's as important as all the other stuff they need.
No,
but
but-
I wouldn't surprise me. on
No,
that.
I was thinking that too. I was just thinking, this. I was surprised that Kelsey's even coming back
Yeah.
for this year. So they might do that, but I think this is where the draft starts to get, and we may start seeing a
Yeah.
lot more trades. In this,
yeah.
8, 9, 10 to 15, 16 range. There's teams wanting to jump around, so we'll see. I have no idea really. I'm just going to sit there and go, "Oh yeah, I can take that one."
I can see your point, and one of the beautiful things about this is that you're right. Not a single offensive tackle has gone off the board yet.
Yeah.
And people need O-line and D-line. Every year, there's lots of desire
It's
and
not-
need for
it's
it.
not a fancy
and it's not a
pick.
sexy pick,
Nope.
but it's one you got to have. But as we said, they lost 3 of their two corners and a safety. They got to get a cornerback.
You get a good interior lineman or even an outside tackle. If you get a good pick and you nail that pick, you got that guy for 10 12 years.
Yeah.
10 to 12 years. You got that staple there.
Yes, but
so
I don't think any of these offensive linemen were graded that good, like they're going to be a 12-year starter, 10-year starter. There's some that are graded that are going to be good, but
Yeah, we'll start
We'll
seeing
see.
some.
We'll
Well,
start seeing
that's
some.
a good segue to 10 because now the New York Giants are back. If they get Styles, which I think they could get another receiver for Dart, but this is where I think the first offensive lineman
okay. That
to
could be
protect your young quarterback. What did you say earlier? He was in the blue tent. Was his house? Yeah. I could absolutely see, and I think the Miami Hurricane. I think that Francis, I don't want to butcher his last name, Malaga or whatever. I can easily see him going to number 10.
Moegawa?
Yeah,
Moegawa?
I can easily see him protecting their second-year quarterback.
I can see them going
Apologize
defense on this and going safety with Downs.
But
If
see,
Downs
now
is
see,
there.
If Downs
this,
is
this
there.
is just
if Downs
yeah.
is there at 10, I can see them take. And then look what they get, 5 and 10. Look who they got. The Giants right there would have. A
No,
really
I would
good
agree
draft.
with. I would absolutely jump on Downs if he's still there.
And here's the
Yeah.
funny part. That's where I have Sonny Styles, is at 10.
Yeah.
So we have them getting the same 2 players. I just have them reversed, where they're getting the safety first and they're getting Sonny Styles
I will
second.
buy you dinner if Sonny Styles makes it to 10. That's a good safe bet because I have no money.
There we go.
All right. Now
All
we're
right,
at the
now
part
we
of the
just gotta go
show.
off.
Before we go on, Pete, you want to zoom? Nick, you got anything over there on your Packers?
I think we're gonna get Mendoza. I think we're gonna make some big trades. So I'm ready for it.
All right. That would be real interesting. If something,
That's our buddy Nick. He's not a draft expert for nothing.
if something like that happened, how freaked out would everybody be? The whole draft would be just screwed from the beginning.
Nick's joking, but if somebody really moved up to number 1, I mean, first of all, you'd have to give up 3 number 1s, number 2s, and everything across the board.
You give them, what was that, the New Orleans
to do
draft that one year. Give them all your picks.
That you're talking about sending every.
Ricky
Yeah,
Williams.
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
All right, now we're at the fun part, with the last part of our show. We're going to talk about our teams. Michael?
We'll start with you because you're the Miami fan, and then we'll go to Tom, and then I'll do mine last.
Oh, yes, but yeah, okay. I hate doing you last because you talk too much. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I'm gonna make this easy, guys. And of course, Tom's ex-wife is a big Dolphin fan. You guys know, all right, Randy Magruder, sorry. You guys know I've been very, very hard on the Miami Dolphins, as it deserves to be. I told you,
number 11?
I told you not to sign Tua. You signed somebody to a big second contract. You signed somebody who never won a playoff game, and now where is he? In Atlanta. But I'll tell you what, I am going to throw that. I'm not going to look in the back. I'm going to look in the future, because you do have a new coach. You do have a new GM, and they look like they have their act together. You got a new quarterback.
Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins, you have 11 picks in this draft, and you got 7 picks in the first 3 rounds. If you have good, smart scouts, if you hit on half of those, you can change your team like this. So Miami, just do the right thing. That's all I got to say. Tom, Tampa Bay.
I'll talk about Miami real quick.
Okay.
You got 11 picks. If you even hit on a third of those like franchise type players, how much that's going to change that team? I could see potentially almost not maybe making the playoffs, but getting closer this next year. If those players could hit and that atmosphere, if they start playing well at the beginning of the year, that team could take. I could see a big improvement for the Dolphins with this draft.
Yeah.
They're going to change the whole outlook of that team. Now, talking about the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Fire Todd Bowles.
No, we're talking about the draft. We're talking about the draft.
Oh, sorry, I'm back.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to that. The Tampa Bay, you made your decision. You made your bed. You either took Todd Bowles or Mike Evans, and we see where we went with that. So that's saying that. Anyway, I think at the 15th pick, the Bucks are probably sitting pretty good. They could take a couple different areas they could go. I do think they do need edge rusher. I think they're looking at edge rusher. In the 15th pick, you are going to have 4 or 5, or maybe even more than that, edge rushers taken off the board before you get to 15. I don't see them trading up. They'd only have, I think they have right now, they have 1 pick in each round. That's it. So they don't have a lot to give away unless there's somebody like Sonny Styles was there. Boom. Oh, yeah, do something. But I don't see that happening. I could see very easily, I heard this today, and I'll give them credit, is the Pewter Report, and I kind of agreed with it. I could see them trading down to maybe possibly Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wants to get a good offensive lineman. They want to jump ahead of Detroit and a few other teams in that 16, 17, 18 area range. And I think being that the draft is in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's going to want to make a big splash of some kind at the draft. I can see them trading up, letting Pittsburgh get whoever they want to get. And then at 21, Bucks still getting possibly the player they were looking at, which is that Hakeem Mesidor, the Miami end. Yeah. I could see him, he could probably still be there instead of taking him at 15, take him at 21 and maybe get an extra 3rd round pick. But we'll see.
Not only Pittsburgh, a lot of rumor has it that the Jets, with that 16th pick, could possibly take Ty Simpson, quarterback Alabama.
That would let Steelers get a hold of him.
Well, not
and
only
they
that,
need a quarterback.
and not just Pittsburgh, but anybody who needs another quarterback might be great trade for us. So, so we will see.
I think the Bucks are sitting in a good position. I think their phone's going to be ringing, probably already ringing today.
Let me just say,
number 3 right there.
Yeah, let me just say this: Tampa, you need a defensive end, you need another linebacker, and we need corner.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. So I've seen things where we take that Sadiq kid. I know he still looks like a great tight end. For God's sakes, Tampa, we sucked at defense. Sure up that defense. Todd Bowles, that's your side of the ball. Get a linebacker, get an edge rusher, get a corner. Then towards the end, then you can get whatever the heck you want. Sure up that defense. Yeah. Or don't, and you can watch the playoffs next year. All right.
Again.
I'm done. That's what I said. I think they're going to trade out, and I'd be very happy.
I'm okay with that.
I'd be happy. I would sit there Thursday night, and the thing comes up, say trade. I'll be happy.
So the good thing, Michael, is we watch Colin Cowherd. Colin said that the Bears just need a cornerback and maybe an edge rusher because your team is that good. So you don't need that much. If you can hit on a couple, you'll have some picks to get some good depth. So what are your thoughts on your Bears?
Okay. Well, before we get to the Bears, I want to address the Dolphins and the Bucks. The Dolphins are picking at 11, which is one right after we lost. If they get Mekhi Lemon, the third best receiver in the entire draft, they've already got a new quarterback they signed in the offseason. Miami could be relevant again pretty quick.
That's what I said. They could be. This
They
draft
got
could
rid of
change
Waddle,
them, yeah.
so now they get a kid on a rookie contract who's, in my opinion, is probably going to be just as good, if not better than Waddle. So Miami's got some stuff coming, and they could really do something good there, and they're picking at 11. I agree with you on the Bucks because I had them selecting Kedrick Falk unless they get to trade back, and if they trade back, Kedrick Falk will still be there, the edge rusher from Alabama. Auburn.
I thought he may go to Dallas with the 12th pick.
And he might. He
So
might,
that's
but
why
then
I'm
they
thinking
can get
he wouldn't be there
Mesidor.
for the Bucks. It
Yeah.
all depends.
Here's the thing: if they trade back to 21, they're only moving back 6 spots.
Yeah.
They're going to get at least a second round pick, if not a second and a third. So that's 2 more picks. Also,
What I heard today on Peter Report was that they would make that trade with Pittsburgh, get a 3rd round pick for this year, and then a 3rd round pick in the 27 draft. I'd be happy with that. Would be a great. I would take that
Just to move down
Just to move back
6 spots or so,
6
yeah.
spots.
Yeah, move back 6 spots. And also, it's not just Pittsburgh. But anybody who wants to get ahead of the Jets, to get Ty Simpson, because Pittsburgh's not the only team that needs a quarterback. So there's I'm telling you,
I can't understand. Being Pittsburgh's kind of like my 2nd, 3rd favorite team. I grew up with Pittsburgh. I can't see how they're sitting there allowing Rodgers not to give them an answer before the draft.
Well, if we really quick look at these teams drafting, the New York Jets need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Arizona
Needs a quarterback.
Needs a quarterback.
So the
other
Bucks will have
teams
more than one
yeah.
trade partner at 15 for somebody who really wants
Yeah.
Ty Simpson. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to get more than 2 threes. We're getting a 2 and a 3 to move back 6 spots. Now, if it's Arizona, we're going to get more than that. But I think the Bucks are in a great position. I agree with you. As good as the tight end is, the kid from Oregon, I can't say his name.
Sadiq.
Sadiq.
I can't see them.
I don't see him. I don't see him being worth the 15th overall pick. And now to my beloved Bears. The Bears, like the Bucks, need an edge rusher, but the Bears need a safety. We lost 2 safeties. We re-signed 1, which means we're still down 1 safety. There's 3 really great safeties. One is Caleb Downs. Bears got no shot to get him. However, depending on how the draft board falls, there's a real possibility we can get the guy I want to get, which is Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon. I think he's going to be a great safety in the league. After him is the McNeil Warren kid out of Toledo. And if they can't
good.
get either
Yeah.
one of those 2, if Akeem Mesidor by some miracle is still on the board, Dylan's my first choice. Dylan Thieneman is hands down my first choice. If he's on the board, no matter who else is there, I'm taking him. But if he's not, then we can get the McNeil kid, or we can get Akeem Mesidor, or like the Bucks, Bears can trade back.
Yeah.
For somebody who wants to trade it. If Ty Simpson doesn't go earlier, the Bears can trade back in the first round to like 30th, where Arizona, or who was 30th? I think Arizona got the 30th pick from somebody. Arizona can move up to 25 or package some picks because the Bears need some help. We need more than just an edge rusher and a safety. We need an edge rusher, a
Miami
safety,
has a 30th
and a
pick.
corner. So, and of course, we lost DJ Moore, so we're going to have to get a wide receiver to replace him too.
Yeah.
So the Bears got a lot of picks, but my preference and what I'm hoping for is that by some miracle, Dylan Thieneman is still on the board and the Bears get to select him because he's a guy. The Bears are going to need a starting safety. The safety is going to be key. We can fill in with the edge rushers in the corners, but the safety is what we got to have.
I've heard of, I don't know what you think of him. I've heard of them possibly taking a guy named Peter Woods, defensive tackle.
No. I would definitely, I would be really mad if they took Peter Woods. Defensive tackles, I mean, granted, they had problems stopping the run, but they've already signed 2 defensive tackles in the
Yeah,
offseason.
Yeah, you got other
Yeah.
you got
You
other
got
things you
and
need.
so
But
they
they're in a position. They are much better, even better than the Bucks in terms of they could sit there
Yeah.
and trade out
That'd
and
be good.
not even have a first
somebody
round
who
pick.
somebody who
and be-
wants a first
Yeah.
round pick because you get that 5th year option, and that would be trade number 5 right there.
We can see.
So-
All right.
It'll be
Well,
interesting.
we
It's
will
gonna
be
fun.
back. We will be back next week, and by then we will know who picked one, and we can get. Hey, you know what we'll do? I just thought this. We will give grades. We will give grades on at least the top.
Our teams.
Our teams at least.
Yeah.
We'll do
yeah.
the top 10
Yeah.
and our teams. All right. We need
All
to
right.
thank our technical director and
Thank
advisor,
you,
Pete
Big
Terzian.
Pete.
Yes, yes. His awesome assistant behind him, Miss Carolyn.
Carolyn. Yes.
Green Bay Packer extraordinaire over there, Nick Kaninsky. We thank, yeah, that's the
Love
Bear
it.
fan.
I love it.
We want to thank the Village players letting us use this. Thank you guys, our friends and family who watch, but even more important, those who don't know us
watch.
and you
Thank
still
you.
watch. Thank you. And like
You
we
still
say,
watch, yeah.
like we say every
Thanks
time,
for the
please,
new set.
please,
Way to go,
everybody,
Pete.
yes, thank you, Pete. Everybody, please
Like, subscribe,
subscribe,
And share. Talk about it.
All right.
Even if you don't like us,
around the
watch
water
us.
cooler.
Yes,
yeah.
thank
See,
you.
we saw,
And we'll
I
see
saw
y'all
the
next
Three
week.
Stooges last
Yes.
night talking football. You
That's
know, I
right.
mean, there you go.
All right. We'll see you next week. Thank you guys very
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks. Bye.